Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be talking about why I'm actually quite optimistic about Marathon, and I think it might do well in the future. Anyway, so let's get this into the video. Let's keep it short. Let's keep it simple. Um, there are two key reasons why I believe that Marathon actually can do well, and I think it can potentially succeed. Now, obviously, this has to be taken with a grain of salt that Bungie can still fail. Bungie can still screw up, and Marathon could die, right? Like, that's obviously a thing that we have to say. But the things that keep me optimistic, though, are that, first and foremost, one, there's actual reasons why people are leaving the game, and two, there is demand for this kind of genre. Now, if you're not aware or you haven't engaged with the community, it's really easy to see a video of a person going, "Oh, I'm leaving Marathon, here's why." And then you go, "Oh, Marathon must be dead," right? Because people are leaving the game. The reality is, though, that's not necessarily correct. Like, the thing is, it's not people leaving the game because it's dead. It's because this season hasn't been great. This season, for a lot of people who love to quote you, Steam charts and all sorts of things, has been extended to 4 months. It was supposed to be a 3-month season, right? So this season should have normally been ending in 5 days' time. It's not. It's ending now in another month's time, which to me is baffling. Second of all, there has been no significant content in this season. We got one rework of a map, really good rework of a map, as I said in my other video where I actually do a review of this season. But it's still a rework of a map, and it's not a map a lot of people like, and it is more of an end game map than it is anything else. So it's sort of in between Cryo Archive and Outpost in terms of difficulty, which is a big factor in part of it. So people may not want to go onto it. And finally, there's only 2 new guns and 1 new class. Now, obviously, yes, Firestorm has been added to the game. I like Firestorm, it's pretty decent. It's really powerful. Well, it is quite powerful if you know how, if you're like, you don't have an incredible build or you don't have some insane loot. This can be an equalizer, right? Because you can 2-tap basically any shields. You can like 3-tap wardens and do like half a rocket drone's health. So it's actually quite strong, but it's nothing insane, right? So at the end of the day, this is just not enough stuff to really keep people coming back. Now, that is why I think Marathon actually has that potential, because a lot of people have genuine reasons. Like, for instance, matchmaking system just doesn't really work, especially when you got a low player count. Things like the there's a bit of onboarding issues. There hasn't been real progression in the lore, hasn't been significant amounts of new content. So again, like only 2 new guns, 1 rework of a map, and so on and so forth. Now, basically, if you can solve these issues, which are perfectly solvable, suddenly there's more reason for people to come back, right? You rework Cryo Archive, or you rework a map and turn it into either a more difficult map, or make it so it has the option to be more difficult, which I think is what they're doing Perimeter. Having a PvE mode, which is a big thing a lot of people were wanting. And this sort of stuff starts to become quite apparent. And then Scarrow was talking about this in, I think, the latest Escape Will Make Me Pod video, where basically he's saying, like, well, there's also teams working on the matchmaking, connection issues, and all sorts of stuff. So the thing is, the problems are being seen and they're being worked on. And that gives me optimism. Second of all, is that there is demand for this genre of game. Like, people sitting down saying, "Oh, nobody wants extraction shooters," or "Marathon's extraction shooter is bad," whatever. A lot of people do want them. The games like Tarkov, Arc Raiders are prime examples of these games doing well. Now, the question is, will Marathon be able to draw in these audiences? And that's sort of the problem Marathon has had for a bit. It's not quite as hardcore as Tarkov, in the aspect that Tarkov has a lot of mechanics, a lot more mechanics you got to deal with. Not as much problem solving, but there is a lot of general stuff you have to solve, like different kinds of ammunition for each different gun. Like, there's Marathon's like 6 types of ammo. That's it. Tarkov is a lot more, as well as different armor and all this stuff. It's really complex, but at the same time, it's not way too hardcore for the average Arc Raiders player. But if they're putting in PvE, which is something Arc Raiders players wanted, that offers a bit of a place for them to come in. It offers them a bit of a opportunity, basically, to pick up the game and go, wow, there's actually stuff here that appeals to me. And also, and this is the other thing, is that Embark, for some reason, I've actually been saying this on Twitter a lot, but Embark has basically been shooting themselves in the foot every turn of the way. Like, we think it's bad for Bungie. Embark is like 50 times worse, because they were pulling 500k players. They're down to like 40. It's not doing well, like, in terms of this, because they're not putting out new content, or significant enough content. In fact, I think the next big update is next year for things they wanted for quite a long time. And this is all why I think Marathon can do well, because it has the prospective audience, as well as the Destiny 2 players. Because majority of Destiny 2 players I actually know and interact with are not actually angry at Marathon players. Yes, the unwashed neckbeards on Twitter are probably not actually a good example of 99.9% of humans. And the reality is that, like, whilst people might not have a positive attitude towards Marathon, there is goodwill that can be garnered. One of my friends didn't like it. I was a hater of this game. I despised it. And I picked it up and I played it, and I actually really love it. I was again 600 hours. And my friend, he's not playing nearly as much as I have, but he does play it. And because I said it's actually a good game, you should try it out, and we did, and he enjoyed it. And that's honestly like where I think it's at for me. Marathon can make a comeback, and it has the potential. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe. Hope you enjoy. I'll catch you all in the next one. Thank you very much. Goodbye.